There's always news to report. It's odd that this is a regime that says they abhor violence, but they've got so much. And let me tell you the ways that they're committing violence against we the people. And they don't seem to care about us, not one whit. One, why are they going after immigrants with such ferocity? Why are they keeping citizens detained under cruel conditions? There's no reason. All of a sudden, they've decided that they've got to deport 3,000 people a day? And that's because of the Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller? They're already deporting 900 folks a day and keeping them in unsanitary conditions behind bars as if they were criminals. And they're not. They're workers. And they're depleting our streets and our industries. I saw a young Chinese woman yesterday who said, please, we're just vendors. We just want to make a living. And so what did they do? They swooped down on Canal Street and they got rid of poor people who are just trying to make a living. They're not really breaking any laws. They're vendors. Shame, shame on this administration. While they live high on the hog, so to speak, nobody else can. Why are we using federal money to bail out Argentina? $20 billion. That's just so the hedge funds who invested in the peso don't get burnt. Trump helped them out. Why? Why are we not allowing emergency funds for SNAP? The SNAP program affects 42 million folks. 42 million people will go hungry. Everyone said, oh my God, there's hunger in Gaza. And yet, if there's hunger in America, who's caring? Well, it looks like a lot of folks are caring. And it looks like nobody's going to tolerate SNAP being snapped out from under us. And if necessary, there are going to be a lot of folks who were hungry who will somehow make their way to Washington, D.C. And then the senators will see our pain. The Republicans in Congress, that hasn't been in session since September. Why? Because they don't want to vote in the last person to be elected to the House of Representatives, the Arizona legislator. Nope, they don't want her. She makes up the 118th vote to get the release of the Epstein files. So, Mike Johnson is not calling the House to order, and yet they're getting paid. He's getting paid about $225,000 a year right now while people are starving. Federal employees are being not paid. When they're in air traffic control, that's not considered emergency. Those folks don't get paid. We have between 800,000 and 1.5 million federal employees who are not getting paid. You don't think that's violence against the populace? You didn't shoot us, but you're not giving us the money we deserve? You're not giving us the back pay, you're saying, that we've earned because they've worked? And what are you doing to our country? I think Congress and Trump and Stephen Miller and Vogt and J.D. Vance, they should rethink how cruel they want to be. Because the American people are resisting. We showed it when we marched peacefully for No King's Day over 7.5 to 8.5 million Americans marched. We don't want to see a degradation of our health care either. We need those subsidies for our premiums. We don't want to have to pay 15 to 26% more. I've already been told I've got to seek another pharmaceutical plan because mine's going to double in the next year. I only pay $200 for my medication. If I stay with the current plan, it's going to go from $31 a month to $96. That's a lot to pay extra when I'm using 2 generics. No siree. We owe we the people because we give in the lion's share of the money to the federal government. And because it's the lion's share is we pay 4.1 or 2 trillion in federal taxes into the federal coffers, and corporations only pay 500 billion, seems to me the people should win. And we should win our rights and our Medicare and our social safety net because we paid for it. And when we say we want that money to go for infrastructure, or we want that money to go for bridges and tunnels and education, we paid for it. We earned that right. The president is our people's representative to ensure that those rights are enforced. When he doesn't do it, or she doesn't do it, they shouldn't be our president because they don't care about we, the people. Think about it, folks. You're not as invincible as you think, because when the American people become angry, and they're becoming angry, watch out.